Howdy YouTube, and welcome to this episode of the Gunman. So today we're going to be doing the flake stage on a full respray. So I've recently just finished a full respray on a WRX, and we did candy over flakes. So I've decided to sort of jump ahead in the queue with the videos and jump straight up to the flake stage. So in the coming videos I will be uploading all the repair procedures and the rest of the paint procedures, including like painting inside the door jambs. But I just decided to jump ahead this time for this video, just because I thought it's something that most people probably haven't seen and it might be interesting. So yeah, as you can see there, I've just dumped loads of flakes into a can of clear base coat. That's what that actually is. So that's PPG color blender, so it's solvent based color blender. It's mixed up 1-to-1 with reducer, and then I decided to actually put 10% hardener in there as well. And that's mainly just to help the drying procedure, to stop the solvents from getting trapped underneath. So because we're putting so many coats of paint on this, and you need to put so much clear on to bury these flakes and give you a nice smooth finish, that's why I decided to put hardener in there. That was actually an idea by Tony from PPG, so thanks for that tip. But as you can see there, that's the brand of flake. We've got Hollywood Candy and Flake, a big bag of it, and it's this silver 0.15 micron. So prior to going in the booth, I'd done a few test panels and I had sprayed flakes quite a few times before. So the gun I decided to use is just my Pro Light, PRI Pro Light. So that's got a 1.8mm fluid tip on it, and that was more than enough to get the flake through.
Woohoo! Yeah, boy!
As you can see, my initial reaction was pretty fun to see those flakes just flying everywhere. I'm not sure how well you guys can see, but just as a quick reminder, it might be worth just checking the settings on your YouTube video. Check that little gear icon in the corner and chuck it up to 4K, and you'll get the full effect of what's going on screen. Because I know sometimes it defaults down to like a lower resolution. But yeah, chuck it up to 4K maybe just for this one, just so you can see those flakes going all over the place. So one thing I decided to do was walk the sides of the car. So I did that with the flake and with the candy, and yeah, that was just to make sure that I didn't get any sort of build-ups. Like, let's just say I was to paint the guard by itself, wherever I stopped, you'd probably get a bit of a double up and a build up. You might not even see it in the booth, but when you stand sort of 10 meters back, you get the car out into the sun, you would probably see some uneven patchiness in the paintwork. So as you can see here, what I did, I started down the bottom of the two doors. You sort of stand in the middle of the two, straddle, you know, you don't actually have to walk as of yet when you're doing the doors, but then when you get up to the wheel arch type thing, as you can see, you just start walking the side. And another thing that you notice is that I'm periodically just giving the gun a shake, because the metal flakes do actually start to settle down. There was one time that I actually forgot to put the gun on its side. So generally, if I'm sort of to stop or, you know, top up guns or whatever you need to do, I'll just leave the gun sort of on the side so that it doesn't go and fill up the passage of the gun. So one time I actually forgot to do that, and I went to spray it next time and nothing would come out because the whole passage of the gun was just clogged right up. So yeah, just something to sort of keep in mind. And another thing that, like, this is my first coat on that boot lid, but it nearly looks like I'd already put a coat on there, and that's just literally from all those runaway overspray type flakes just going all over the place. And because of that, what I ended up finding that happened was the flakes were stacking on themselves. So because I'd only previously done like some test panels, I didn't actually realize that was going to happen, you know, like because this is my first time ever doing like a full respray with flakes. I wasn't quite prepared for it. I wasn't quite prepared for the fact that the flakes were going to sort of stack on top of each other. So what ended up happening is, the way that I sprayed this is I put the black down, I put the flakes down, I did 3 coats of this flake, and then I did 4 coats of candy, and then 2 coats of normal clear over the top. And then I baked it out, then I sanded it down. But what ended up happening, even with the 6 coats of clear, as I say, 4 coats were tinted with the candy, but even with that 6 coats of clear, some flakes were still poking up through the 6 coats of clear, and it must have been because they were landing up on top and on top and on top of each other. Like, you know, it could be like 3 or 4 flakes standing end on top of each other, and the clear just didn't fill it up. So when I went to sand it down for the final flow coat, I ended up chopping through some of those flakes, and they went back to being silver again. The way that I went around fixing it was just to put a little bit more candy down. But had I have known that this was going to happen, I might have just ended up doing the flakes like this, and then just going with normal clear. Let's just say 3 or 4 coats of normal clear without the candy yet, and then done the candy when I was ready to do the flow coat. That would be one way around it. So as I say, like, I had no idea that that's what was going to happen, because I'd never done such a big flake job before. Like, I did like even a full test panel. Like, I did a guard. I found a guard that was sitting out the back of the panel shop, you know, one that was dented up, and even on a panel that size, you don't get the sort of stacking effect of the flakes. So all up, this job here, up to where it is, and that's not including polishing, it took me 90 hours. I thought that was a long time, but after putting that in the previous video that I did, some people have actually said that 90 hours for a job that size, for a candy over flake full respray, including getting all the panels nice and straight, is actually pretty good. So, but yeah, there's been some people talking shit about me on Facebook, big time, like making, you know, a big deal about it. So all I'll say is, you can't make yourself look good by making others look bad. You have to do that on like your own back. You got to make your own reputation by yourself. Trying to drag other people down does not make you look good. If you want to prove you're a better painter than me, well then do it by painting. Don't do it by talking. And to feel threatened by another painter in a workshop is just stupid. Like, I was talking to one of my mates about it today, and like, I've thought this way for a long time. Like, the boss wants us both to be good. You know, like, the boss doesn't, like, he wants everyone to be good, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to feel inferior. Like, if you look at me and say, oh, he's a good painter, so I have to try and drag him down or make him look bad or something. No, like, just, we can all be good painters, you know what I mean? It's just, it's childish crap. Like, I don't know, mate, I just go to work to do my job, so to have other people, you know, try and badmouth me and you know, pull me down, I think unreasonably, you know. And what was it that he said? He said, oh, he's moving again. So what? If I'm not happy, man, I'm moving. Like, you know. Anyway, I won't get in too much into it, but have a look at that, mate. You know, like, to be able to lay down a candy over flake respray of this quality, you know, you can't be that bad of a painter. I'm not saying it's absolute perfect. The job's not finished yet. It's still needs a bit of a tidy up, and some of the edges are going to need a little bit of a polish here and there, and maybe a little bit of touch up with some candy and then a bit more of a polish or something like that. You know, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying this job is perfect, because it's not, but it's pretty damn good. I'm happy with it. Yoni's happy with it. So just, I don't know, man. I reckon people need to chill. I just, like, what? I know it sounds a bit lame, but it's like, why can't we all just get along? You know, like, I don't have an axe to grind with anyone. Another thing I was saying to my mate just today is, I don't hate anyone either. Even, like, man, you can say and do whatever, all the nasty shit you want about me. I don't have time for such negative emotions. So I was saying to him, I said, mate, I've got 40 years left on this planet. If I'm lucky, I'll make it to 80. And anything past there, you're probably not living the best life anyway. So I'm not filling that, you know, that 40 years I have left, if I'm lucky, with negative emotions and hatred. Like, I'm just, man, I've just started to realize how short life is, you know what I mean? And I'm on a journey. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm on a journey to better myself, to be a better person, to help other people reach their full potential as well. Strong people lift others up, they don't drag others down. So when you go around talking shit about other people, you're just proving how you're not strong and that you're actually really quite weak. Anyway, that's this job. I'm just going to cut it off at there, just at the flake stage. Obviously I did chop some of the footage down, so it wasn't the entire job. I might actually end up uploading that to my raw channel, so be sure to go and subscribe to that channel if you're not already. But I hope you guys did enjoy watching me lay down flakes on this Subaru WRX. Have a look at those boots, mate. And that's it after the candy and the flow coat. Another thing I found that, like, remember how I was talking about some of those flakes sort of like poking through? So I chopped it all back and then put the more candy on and then flow coated it. But it's like wherever I cut through to a fresh flake, when I went to flow coat it, it turned into like a little silicon spot. So I had, and because like this side of the roof, so the driver's side of the roof and the bonnet and the boot were the worst because they were getting more of the stacking. It's like that's where I got lots of silicon. So down the side it wasn't that bad. I ended up having to paint the bonnet, roof and boot lid again. That's how bad it was. Just a flow coat, but yeah, it was a bit of a letdown. So I don't know if it's the flakes or the kind of clear that I'm using, but yeah, it was just an unfortunate thing to have happen right at the very end of the project. Ultimately, it come up pretty good. There's a couple of spots I'm going to have to polish up, like a few of those silicon spots, but they will polish up. But yeah, there you go, guys. I reckon it looks pretty awesome. Hope you enjoyed watching this video. Until next time, get out there and paint some shit. Gunman out.